Okay. I had the wrong source. I had the wrong source. Hi, everyone. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Elevate Umi. Thank you for the tier 1 sub at 4 months. Hi. Hello. Hi, Noah's. Hi, Mouse. Hi, Mitch God. Hi, Dextro. Umi. Hi, Bunny. Hi. Yes, hi, everyone. Hi, Kirby. Juliet. Hi, everyone. So today, this is ASMR, so I'm not being loud. Can you hear the ambiance? It's supposed to be unsettling. I'm not gonna have any music playing, which is gonna be really unsettling. Yes, awesome. Awesome portion. It's not raining. It's a fireplace, yes. Yes. So today Umi is ASMR reading creepypasta. Don't say it's raining fireplace. Hi, chicken sandwich, Umi. It's gonna be Christmas themed creepypasta. So a lot of Umi's guessed right. I made a poll on Twitter, and it was about which one would I read. It was a guessing game, and a lot of Umi's were right. Today, Umi is the Christmas Krampus. It's about a kid who gets eaten. It's a sister. Yeah, hi, Jeremy. Yes, it's a very quiet stream. Hi. Hi, everyone. I haven't done ASMR in a while because everything's been crazy. Right now, I'm in the middle of moving. I move tomorrow, and my room is not very clean right now. So this is like a small break for me for moving everything. Yeah, but the Christmas Krampus would be a new Umi who want oh, you know, I forgot to do mix it up. But yeah, I'm happy to. I don't have to deal with males anymore for the rest of my. It'll just be me and my sister, so no more accidental mail on stream if you hear a man raging in the background. Don't say that, Jeremy. It's not big, it's like hip size. It's hip size luggage. I'm kind of nervous about it. Everything is gonna be good. Okay. Should we get going? Yes, baby. It's 8 minutes in. Nervous but excited, kinda. I have no furniture, I'm gonna die. Okay. I have my own version of the story on, so if I forget to scroll on the stream version, tell me, okay? Tell me. Okay, the Christmas Krampus. I don't know who actually wrote this, and I don't know if it's good or not, but a lot of people like it. But I don't know if it's good. I'll tell you my opinion when I'm done with it. I won't say anything, I'll tell you my opinion when I'm done with it. Because I've never read this one before, so I'm excited. Every year around the Christmas holiday, magical things always seem to happen. Some things are marvelous and joyful, like visits from Santa or a snowman coming alive. Many people say they can feel the Christmas magic in the air or around them. Some things aren't so joyful. Around Christmas every year, kidnappings, murder, and suicide rates go up drastically as well. Even when horrid things like this happen, people often feel, yet rarely do, they admit, that they still feel a kind of holiday magic behind it, although be it a dark magic. One example comes from a Christmas demon known as the Krampus. The Krampus is well known in countries like Germany and Switzerland for taking naughty children in the dead of Christmas Eve night. Here is one such account. December 6, 2013. My name is Eli Rockvoid. I'm currently 7 years old as I write this. I confide in this journal something I can't tell my family because they would never believe me. I'm often told that I'm very smart for my age because I say and do things that most kids my age don't. But if I tell a strange story, no matter how hard I get them to believe me, my parents and siblings say it's just my imagination. Today, I looked out my window into the street by our house and saw a man who looked like a shadow with horns. His eyes glowed orange, and seeing him scared me a lot. He was ringing a bunch of bells for something, but I just tried to ignore him and go to sleep. Then I heard a knock on the door. I went down to see who it was. Whoops. Mommy and Daddy. When I got to the door, something stuck a card through a mail slot and ran off really quickly. The card had a picture of a monster who had two bull legs, a tail, and horns on a really scary looking goat head that looked half human. I was so scared that it was the thing in the street, but I don't know what to do. I think I know what it is, but I hope I'm wrong. I showed the card to my dad, and he said it was Krampus. The bottom of the card said, Gross von Krampus. Daddy says every year, Krampus I'm sorry, I keep saying Daddy. It's distracting me. Krampus punishes bad boys and girls on Christmas, but Santa gives good boys and girls toys. So now I'm not so scared. I always get toys on Christmas, so I must be a good kid. I still didn't tell him about the thing on the street. I can't control the... Do I have to... I can't control the... I can't... I can't control this. I might have to refresh this. Just... Okay, there we go. Okay, I got it. No worries. I got it. December 24th, 2013. My parents will be gone for most of tonight and Christmas morning tomorrow for some stupid work thing they both have. We usually have a Christmas at 6 o'clock, but we have to wait for Mommy and Daddy to get home first. Mom told Brad, my oldest brother, that we would have a babysitter because she didn't trust him to watch all 5 of us by himself. Mom often let Brad watch us, but we had broke a lot of things the last couple of times we were left alone. So Mommy said she would get Rebecca to watch us. Rebecca came to the house at 5. She was very pretty and Dad couldn't stop staring at her. Mommy and Daddy left a couple of minutes after Rebecca got here. This was the first time Rebecca had watched 6 kids at the same time before, and I don't think she knew what she was getting herself into. Oh, man. My youngest sister, Molly, who's 3, threw a tantrum. Oh, what? Thank you, Jay. Me? I'm distracted now. Thank you, Jeremy, for the 10 gifted me. That was so random. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. Have you seen that Instagram reel meme where that guy's like, thank you. Thank you so much, Amin. Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. Take it back. What? No! Don't. Oh. Thank you, Albert Omi, for the one gifted sub too. Yippee! I'm not gonna let this trip out of me. Thank you, Omi. Thank you, Jen, Albert Umi. Okay, I'll keep on reading. I got distracted, really distracted. Molly, who's 3, threw a tantrum after our parents left. Levi and Garrett, my younger twin brothers who are both 5, started fighting. Brad talked with Rebecca most of the night, and Rachel spent most of the night in her room. Mom and Dad said that we would still get Christmas gifts tomorrow, but we have to wait to open them until they got home. We made hot cocoa, but the cocoa maker is broken, so the hot chocolate burned our mouths. We all got candy canes, too. Rebecca started to put us to bed at 8 and finally succeeded at 9:30. Even though she was... Thank you, Bunny, for the gifted stuff. Stop it! Stop it! Bunny! Stop it! Thank you, Bunny, for the one gifted on me. Even though she was clearly exhausted and frustrated with us, she told us she had fun and that she wouldn't have spent Christmas Eve any other way. Whoopee! I awoke in the middle of the night at about 11 to see a crimson moon casting a dim red glow on the winter snow. I looked out of my bedroom window and saw a red object coming towards our house. Fast. It was hard to make out, but it looked like a red sleigh being pulled by reindeer. I instantly recognized this as Santa's sleigh and ran to hide on the stairs and waited for him to come down the chimney anxiously. Out of the window to the right of our fireplace, I saw a sleigh fly overhead and heard many hooves trotting on the roof. I made sure to remain perfectly still and silent as a mouse. I waited for what felt like an eternity while soft footsteps echoed on the roof above me. Getting closer to the chimney, I heard scuffling as ash and dust started falling from the fireplace. Soon, 2 black boots landed. Then the rest of jolly old Saint Nick came to the fireplace with a bag of toys on his back. Without speaking a word, he went straight to our tree. He took gifts from his bag and scattered them under our lit-up plastic evergreen, and then started on the milk and cookies we left for him. Good morning, Gamma Umi. It's Santa! Oh my god, he's gonna kill the kids. I felt that I had held my breath the entire time I was hiding on the stairs. I couldn't believe I was spying on the real Santa Claus in my own home. Eventually, he made his way over to our stockings and started putting various knickknacks and candies in our stockings, starting with Molly. When he got to Levi, he took out a small black rock and eyed it sadly before placing it in Levi's stocking. It took me a second to realize that he gave Levi coal. I tried to stifle a laugh to the best of my abilities, but a small squeak escaped my lips anyways. Santa turned around and scanned the room. I remained as still as ever. He turned back to the stockings, this time keeping his back to me, and put a piece of coal in Garrett's stocking too. He put a candy cane in Brad's stocking, along with a pocket knife. Rachel got a new phone and some Kit Kats. Finally, he moved to my stocking, which is always furthest to the right, even though I'm the middle child. He began rummaging through his sack as I leaned forward excitedly to see what presents I was getting. Oh my goodness. Santa pulled out a large jet black piece of coal and stuffed it into my stocking. I felt a wave of anger, sadness, and regret all at once. I almost stood upright to tell off the jolly old elf, but when he turned around, I saw tears in his eyes. He looked as if he was filled with similar emotions as I was, like he didn't like to have to give bad kids coal. It was for this reason that I remained quiet as Santa climbed back up my chimney and got into his sleigh and flew away. I watched out my downstairs window as the sleigh flew from the roof and into the black abyss of crimson night. I sat there, still in place for a very long time, pondering how I could have been a better child next year when I spotted something out of the window again. Oh fuck, they're gonna get their ass beat. But this time, the sleigh looked as if it was black. I wrote this off as it was really dark outside except for the moon's red glow. I wonder why Santa would come back. Maybe he forgot something. Maybe he made a mistake. Maybe I wasn't naughty, and he was on his way back to fix his mistake. My mind was racing from one thought to another as I began hyping myself up for all my possible Christmas presents. I'd stopped watching the window and had begun to daydream about the next morning until hooves on the roof interrupted my thoughts. I heard a loud, heavy clanking this time as he got closer to the chimney. Ash began to fall down the chimney, creating an ashy cloud around the fireplace as what I assumed to be Santa began climbing down and landed with a loud clash. My final thought before seeing what came next was, how has no one noticed all of this? Through the cloud of thick black ash protruded two large horns with stripes of red and white, like those of candy canes. As the dust settled, the rest of the figure was revealed. His skin was pale, icy-looking blue. His beard was like Santa's, except it was black and came to a point. His nose was long, and his face looked grizzled, but more human than I thought. His horns looked like they'd touched the ceiling as he jumped. His body looked human in shape, but animal in appearance. His legs were twisted and ended in hooves, like that of a cow or bull. He had a long tail. His torso was contorted and everything but his face and palms was covered in fur. He had broken chains around his wrist and what looked like a heavy red Christmas ornament attached to his tail by another chain. His ears were pointed, and so were his teeth. Despite his horrid, outlandish appearance, the most noticeable things about the creature were the bells that it wore, and the basket on its back that had a limp arm of a child hanging from it. The stories were true, and so is Krampus. I couldn't believe my eyes. I had seen sleighs go by, magic reindeer fly overhead, and had even seen Santa Claus himself. But none of that could have prepared me for the beast that is Krampus. He moved around the room with such speed that I was caught off guard. This thing looked about 8 feet tall without its horns, and with them he towered over everything in our large home. He made his way to the fireplace and took the coal from Levi's stocking. He rolled it around. He rolled it around in his long, bony fingers for a moment, then took the coal from Garrett's stocking, then finally mine. He studied the coal for a moment. A wild smile, full of pointy yellow teeth, beamed across his face. Should I do a voice? I'm not good at voices. Naughty little children. I heard it say in a cold, raspy voice. A shiver ran up my spine as it spoke. No, I'm not doing a voice. Bunny, I think Krampus is like, well, he kidnaps children, Bunny, and he eats them, so I don't think he has good ambitions in life, Bunny, so that's why he would say that. I'm not saying anything, but he takes them kids. I was paralyzed in both fear and awe at the creature that roamed my living room beneath me. I thought he was moving towards the tree, but it walked past it and started going down the hallway into Levi and Garrett's room. I remembered the things my father used to say about it, that he whips bad kids, takes them away. Sometimes he eats them. Don't say he's a Minecraft YouTuber. Krampus isn't that bad. He doesn't touch them, I think. He's too ashy to touch the kids. Well, yeah. Sometimes he eats them, sometimes he shakes them and scares them into being good. All these horrid thoughts and more danced through my head as the monster creeped into the twins' rooms. I tried to scream with all my might, but no sound would escape from my mouth. As I finally was able to choke out Levi, Garrett, screams had already filled their room. Levi came running out of his room, screaming his head off as Garrett followed suit. Sorry, I lost where I was reading. The creature's long, twisted arm reached out from the room and grabbed Garrett's leg, pulling him back into the room. I stood up from my spot on the stairs and motioned for Levi to come to me. It was my fucking phone! Don't say anything else. My phone. I got distracted because I was getting a message. That's from my friend Maddie. She wanted to talk to me about my art. Garrett. Oh, okay, bye, JP. Bye, Omi. Don't say shots. Bye, Jeremy. Bye. Garrett's screams fell silent. The Krampus emerged from the room, alone. His nose seemed shorter now, his face even more deformed now. I gripped Levi's hand tightly, and we ran for Brad's room. I wailed on his door again and again, but he wouldn't come out. I would have tried harder to get his attention, but I could hear it coming up the stairs as each hoof hit each step. took Levi to the laundry room and told him to hide in the laundry chute. Once he was inside, I began lowering the laundry hamper so he could get downstairs without confronting the monster. Before he was lowered out of sight, I told Levi to go start the hot chocolate maker because I had a plan. Oh yeah. He nodded, and once he got to the bottom, I felt the hamper get lighter as he climbed out. I heard the hooved footsteps getting louder and closer to the laundry room. I began pulling the laundry hamper up and climbed in. As the door was violently flung open, despite the locks on it. What? They start sentences and they don't finish them properly. The beast licked his lips with his long, skinny tongue. Stop it, don't call him a freak. You're just being mean, Bunny. As he slowly approached my trembling body inside the hamper, I began to bounce myself and rock the hamper as Krampus got closer and closer. The hamper wouldn't fall no matter how hard I rocked it, and the creature was nearly upon me. I felt its breath on me as it excitedly panted, getting further. I expected its breath to be hot, like that of a dog's, but instead it felt like the coldest winter chill caressing my skin. I shook the hamper as savagely as I could before it finally budged. The hamper fell, and before I knew it, I was on the first floor. I crawled out of the chute and ran to the kitchen as the demon rampaged upstairs. As I came into the kitchen, I noticed no signs of my little brother, but I did see that the hot cocoa maker was on. The stomping of the creature upstairs continued, but didn't seem to be near the stairs, so I was focused on finding Levi. He wasn't hiding in any of the cabinets, and he wasn't anywhere in the living room. I decided he might be in his room, so I quietly creeped to it slowly, but steadily. The twins' room was trashed entirely, and Levi wasn't there. There was blood on the wall. I shuddered to think that it once belonged to my baby brother. A small bloody handprint was smeared on the wall by the door. Dread was all that I could feel in that moment. Dread for misbehaving all year. Dread for what had become of my little brother. 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 And dread for the silence that fell in place of the hooves stomping around downstairs. I quickly and silently made my way back to the kitchen and took out a large coffee pitcher of scalding hot cocoa. As I kept out of the kitchen into the... I spelled crept wrong. Crept out of the kitchen into the living room, I had an ominous feeling of dread, as if I was being watched. I could barely see in the dark of the night, and I couldn't locate our light switches. The only source of light I had was the dim, eerie glow of the lights of the Christmas tree. As I scanned all entrances to the dining room, something moving caught my eye. The chandelier had begun to start swinging, as if something had bumped it or hit it. There was a soft thudding that accompanied the squeaking of the rocking corona. As I looked around to make out another vague shape in the glow of the Christmas lights, I saw what bumped the chandelier. The monster. The monster was crawling on my ceiling like a large twisted spider. His arms were bent in excruciating looking ways to grip the ceiling and watched me with his eyes that burned like fire. I wanted to scream at the top of my lungs at the very sight of it, but instead I held my ground. A cruel smile spread across the face of the predator who was stalking me. He undug his fingers from the ceiling and landed on the floor in front of me with a thunderous crash. Mere inches away from me. This was his mistake. Oh boy. I threw the entire pitcher of burning hot cocoa on his face, and the beast immediately started writhing in agony. He covered his hands over his quickly blistering face. He took his hands off his face just as it began to melt and peel off the bits of flesh and blood, melting away to reveal his horrible skull with its eyes still in their sockets. It froze for a while, and for a brief moment I was happily assured and content that the Krampus was dead. But then it only started cackling an awful and disturbingly malevolent laugh. It pierced my ears like knives and loomed over me to instill as much fear as it could. It was working. Before my very eyes, the muscles around the creature's skull started to grow back, and in a seconds its new face had formed. It looked more like a goat with pointy teeth than human, but you could still partially see it in there. Its beard was still as long as before, and now it looked almost out of place on the demonic beast's head. I turned and ran behind the Christmas tree, avoiding the abomination's lanky arms as I ran by. The Krampus immediately started coming towards the tree, intent on harming me. I pushed the large plastic evergreen on the monster and ran back upstairs to find my little brother. I wailed on my other siblings' doors, but no one would wake up, no matter how hard I pounded on their doors. Everyone locks the door to their rooms when we go to sleep, so we're not bothered. But the doors are also heavy, and not much sound get through them. I began to shout for Levi as loud as I could, hoping he'd respond. Then Levi appeared at the top of the stairs. We stared at each other. He looked terrified and sad. I started to walk towards him when suddenly my baby brother was impaled by the Krampus's horns. His body was thrusted up and thrashed around by the savage creature as he convulsed and shook spastically on his horns. I've seen people die on TV before, but watching it in real life is entirely different. No one should have to go through it. My brother didn't deserve that. No one deserves that. Santa and Christmas are about love and cheer. Krampus made Christmas about hatred and retribution. I watched helplessly while the thing ripped my brother's shaking body from its horns and dropped his lifeless body into the basket on his back. The demon began to strut towards me with malicious intentions, so I ducked into Mom and Dad's empty room and opened the top right drawer in my dad's dresser. I wasn't tall enough to see what I was reaching for, but when I felt it, I pulled out my dad's pistol. He's gonna shoot Krampus. Oh my goodness. I opened the other dresser and had put 2 bullets in the pistol by the time the creature burst open the door. I shot it twice and hit it both times. It was unfazed by the bullets. A loud noise clearly hurt both our ears as the monster clawed at its ears while screaming in pain. I began to quickly crawl towards the window until something long, thin, and tight, and slimy gripped my right leg and began pulling me back. I looked behind me until my terror saw that the Krampus was using its incredibly long tongue to pull me towards its mouth of sharp, jagged teeth. I began to breathe in and out quicker and quicker and began panicking as my foot got closer to its mouth. I lifted my leg and kicked it in the face twice before its tongue finally loosened. Before I could breathe, Krampus picked me up and began shaking me wildly. I kicked him a second time, this time with my right foot, and he flung me into the hallway where I began limping away. I had reached the end of the hallway where I heard a loud popping crack sound, moments before feeling a sharp sting all across my back. I looked back and saw that the holiday devil had whipped me with a whip like a lion tamer would use. I felt the warm ooze onto my back as new pain started settling in. I started to limp away to safety when I was picked up by Krampus again. His long, cold fingers wrapped around my back and stung my cut even worse. He looked at me right in the eye before lifting me behind him and dropping me into the birch basket on his back. On the outside of the basket, it looks like it could only fit a couple kids inside, but the inside was massive. I fell into a mountain of bodies. There were hundreds or thousands of kids in that one basket, piled on each other. Not all alive. Where you couldn't see other kids, which made up the trembling ground, you could only see darkness. No sounds could be heard from inside or outside, really, either. Kids would scream, mutter, shout until their throats clearly hurt, but no sounds came from their mouths. Every time I thought the situation couldn't get any worse, it got way worse. I waited for what felt like a millennia to escape, as new kids would fall in and join the confusion to show how much time passed. Eventually, the Krampus reached into the basket and began to pull out another kid. His arm became larger as he reached in the basket and stretched out to pick to a panicked girl. Oops. I grabbed onto her leg and let myself be carried to salvation. When we were pulled from the basket, I let go of the kid and fell behind Krampus. He didn't notice I escaped. He was focused on the girl. He looked at the small girl for a second before biting into her flesh with his large, sharp teeth. I never knew the kid's name before the creature devoured her, but I owe her my life for helping me escape. I backed away slowly from behind as Krampus feasted on my fellow child at its dinner table. I had no idea where I was now, but it was dark and it was cold. I think it's where the creature lives. After the monster was finished eating, he picked up a small wooden box and opened the top and spat something that glowed a bright green into it. He took the box over to a rusted doofus that he opened, entered, then left a few minutes later without the box. He then left the room, leaving the child's remains on a large platter and the rusty door to my curiosity. What are you saying, dog? Don't call him Diddy. Don't call him Diddy Krampus. He's not touching them, he's eating them. It's different. He's boring them. It's very different. I actually need water. Can you hear me gulp? I feel like that's really uncomfortable. I don't know if you can hear me gulp. I've been gulping for like this whole stream. I opened the door to see dozens of more wooden boxes. I also saw many creepy-looking porcelain dolls and other creepy toys. The door behind me closed, and I was engulfed in total darkness. I got out my phone and used it to barely light my way. I walked past a Jack-in-the-Box with a scary face. I walked past a baby doll that looked withered and old. I found a sack doll that looked like a creepy rotting skeleton too. I thought it was like Santa's rejected toy shop until I found the word misfit smeared in red paint next to the clown with a skull for a head, blue eyes in its stockings, and a big fleshy hands. I was terrified. Someone else was caught in that room before. When I got closer to the clown, it jumped towards me and yelled, "This is so corny. This is so corny. Wanna play?" I got really scared and jumped back as the clown let out a scary laugh. I heard scurrying and tiny footsteps of other toys from all around. I started catching the dolls and gingerbread men turning their heads as I ran along the walls trying to relocate the door. I found another message on the wall. "Why can't we die?" Was scratched into the wall by something. I wanted nothing more for this night to end. When I located the door, I bolted for it. As soon as I saw it, I was tripped by a toy soldier with a realistic burn. Oh my goodness, it's realistic blood, and it's realistic eyes, and it's realistic burns. With realistic burns on half of his face. I kicked the tiny husk of plastic away and moved closer to the door when a deformed baby doll appeared from the darkness and sank her teeth into my leg. I felt a surge of pain and fell to the ground. I furiously punched the doll's head repeatedly until it unlocked its tiny teeth from my flesh. The porcelain atrocity scurried off as other terrible toys danced around me in the darkness. More and more of them kept popping up and coming out of the boxes, like the one Krampus spat the glowing thing into. The toys began muttering words, but I couldn't make out what they were saying. The muttering got louder and louder till I understood some of their words. "Feel out of pain. He killed us, but not entirely. He gobbled me up and spat my soul into a puppet. Kill us, let us die. I feel like I'm at Umi. I'm at Umi. I think I could tell that the toys were the kids. They should do more showing, not telling." The things they said were terribly dreadful, to say the least. When I got up, I started to make my way to the door as the dolls chanted more obscene things to me. "We're gonna eat you alive like he ate us. I'm gonna rip out your eyes." Although they continued to chant, none of them came towards me again as I moved around the darkness of the room. I saw a small toy skeleton in Santa's clothes with a beard move by. A puppet with many nails sticking out of its wooden head was strung up to the ceiling, moving and wrestling with its strings. I spotted a stool that was pulled up to a workbench with tools and a teddy bear on it. The teddy bear had real bear claws sticking out from its paws and real human teeth in its mouth. I reasoned that this was Krampus's demented toy shop and decided to leave before it was too late. I walked past the bench to the door and started pulling on the rusty metal handle. The door was extremely heavy, but slowly budged and started opening as I pulled back with all my might. Light began to bathe the room, and the misfit toys dashed to the shadows to avoid the light. I ran from the dark room, closed the door behind me, and leaned on it for a while to catch my bearings. I looked around at the only other room in this place that was familiar to me. I went by the long table the monster ate the nameless girl at, trying to not think about it, trying to not think of something, anything to distract me from the horrors I have bared witness on the most unsettling, unsuspecting, and happiest times of years. I looked at an open door and poked only half of my head out to scan the perimeter of the room. It led to a large room that had various whips, saws, and they put various in the same two variouses in the same sentence, and various other torture devices. I kept in and kept to the wall. What? They forgot how to spell crept again. I crept in and kept to the wall. Hi, Kizumi. Kizumi, how long has it been since I seen you? Not that long, apparently, but still. It's very bad, Void, it's very bad. Herm scratched his chin. This is not great. I spotted 3 dark wooden doors amongst the darkness and concrete walls. I also found a window, and the snow outside was falling so slowly, so peacefully. 2 doors were on one large wall opposite of the window, and the other was on the wall to the right of the window. I first tried... Okay, well, this is just bad English. I first tried on one of the doors on the long wall. This is just bad English. But had decided beforehand to go to the door right of the window, thinking it would lead me closer to a door out or something. The walls were lined with racks, and racks were lined with hellish masks. Some had horns, some had long serpent tongues sticking out, some had teeth, some had patches of skin, some had antlers. One was a wired skull with antlers, and antlers had lit candles on them. What? 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 It was so strange. The one was kawaii desu ne. It was so strange. The room was so large. The door led to the same room. I left without moving the door in fear that closing the heavy door would create noise and would lead the creature to me. I walked alongside the wall to avoid the equipment, straight to the only door I had left. I opened the door slowly and with caution. The first thing in the room I had noticed was a strange tree that looked like an upside-down purple Christmas tree. The trunk was on the bottom, but the pines and branches looked upside down. The tree was decorated with red and green lights and small bones. There was another window in this room, but it was on the same side as the last. There was an open doorway that led to a hallway. Avoid only a kid got kidnapped by Krampus, but he's not very good at English. There was a hallway that teed off and 2 signs labeled the directions. The right one said surveillance room, The left one said stables. I went to the stables thinking I might be able to find a reindeer to fly out of that place with. It seems like a silly plan now in hindsight. I opened the stable door and the awful smells invaded my nostrils immediately. There was frost on the floor as well. There were 8 stables lined up along the wall to the right, each with the monarch reindeer head sticking out. Below each head was the doors to each stall, each with pendants of names on them. I read the names out loud. That's what you do. As I started down the row, each deer was grotesque in their own right. 1 or 2 had exposed skulls. Each had jagged teeth. Some had manes, and others had dried blood on their fur. 7 of their 11 eyes, 7 of their eyes glowed red. Slasher. Slasher, the famous reindeer. As I said, as I passed the first one, Wrathful, Gorgon, Putrid, Cyclops. Cyclops was missing 1 fiery eye. Rabies, Gunner. The last monstrous reindeer looked like a hellish Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. His head had flames that danced from its gnarled snout from the back of its mane. No! No! Rudolph is on fire! Rudolph is on fire! Gnarled has my favorite word in the sentence. Gnarled. Between its sharpened, bloody antlers furiously flickered bolts of electricity. Dude, he has fire. He has fire, power, and electric power. Oh, thank you, Burning Shark, and thank you, Estimate Umis, for the follow. Rudolph the Red. Blitzkrieg. That sounds like a Minecraft server. I decided writing one was out of the question and began searching for an exit. I realized the only door to the room was the one I came from. I looked all over the room looking for some way out and saw the reason for the cold. The top crease of an upper part of the wall was missing and led outside. It was far too high to reach. I left the stable room and went into the surveillance room. The handle felt icy cold as I slowly opened the door. The room, like all the rest, was large. One wall was covered with monitors. The bottom, middle monitor stuck out more than the rest, and had a keyboard below it. A chair was also pulled up to it. Each screen had various kids on it. Some in dreadful conditions, others minding their own business. No sound came from the monitors, but I started to notice I was hearing a ticking noise. The clock above the door I came in read 5:54. Christmas Day didn't start at my house until 6 o'clock. The wall opposite of the monitors had many names scratched into it. I wondered if the dead girl's name was scratched into the wall. A door that read exit was to the right of the monitors, but the computer said search name. I sat in a large chair and typed in Garrett Rockvoid. A nutcracker that had 2 bodies attached from the sides of its head popped out. Each body seemed to be trying to yank away from the other. Its face looked like it was in pain, and it had the same color of eyes as Levi and Garrett. I looked up Levi Rockford and the same thing popped up. I sat frozen in awe for a moment. Tears filled my eyes and ran down my cheeks. The ticking of the clock seemed to turn into clapping as I sobbed. I was crying more than I ever cried before. I cried so hard I began hearing a ringing. Then the chair I was in was spun around and I was face to face with Krampus. He looked menacing and insidiously sinister. His horns were partly covered in blood. His long fingers looked sharp and his eyes burned like never before. He waved his long, sharp, bony fingers at me and tisked. Naughty, naughty. He said, cruelly and mockingly. He licked my face with his incredibly long tongue and began to wrap it around my throat. He started constricting his tongue and choked me. I was gurgling and coughing and struggling. They're close to nothing. My vision even started to become blurred. Then I knew I... God damn it. This is so unserious. Then I knew if I didn't do something quickly, I was going to die. I punched him in the face with all my might and knocked him back for only a brief moment as his tongue recoiled into his mouth. I utilized my time and ran towards the exit. I felt the ground shake directly behind me as heavy hooves shook the floor violently in their wake. I felt the creature's cool breath on the back of my neck. I pushed the door open and ran into the freezing cold as my pursuer followed suit. I ran till I was knee-deep in snow. Hi, scrambling on me. Okay, you two. Scrambling, did you see the new Outlast Prime set? I played her thing and it sucked. Okay, let's do it. I ran until I was... Oh, what? What? Big raid. Okay, I think, okay, wait. Pretty big raid, hi, I'm a bit embarrassed now because I'm reading a very trashy creepypasta from 2013. Hi, very Patchumi. Hello. Hello, I am Omi. I'm Patchumi. I'm from Perfect Corporation. Hi, new Umis. Hi, very Umi. Hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm Patchumi. I play horror games. And I love anteaters, and I'm very weird. Hi, Umi, so, hi, Raider, Umis, I am currently, I'm currently, I'm a bit nervous now, Umi. I am, reading a creepypasta from 2013. We're almost done. Umi, wait. I'm reading a creepypasta from 2013. It's really bad. It was probably written by a 14-year-old about Krampus. This is supposed to be calming to my stream, and I'm nervous now. Hi, I'm very off-putting and very awesome. Yeah. It's nice to meet everybody. I'm supposed to like doing everything is so distracting. Yeah, but this is very trashy creepypasta. Okay, I'll read the rest through for my current Umis and then I'll talk to my new Umis. I need to go through all the new follows. This is very awkward. I'm a little embarrassed. Thank you, Ray Umi. Did you do anything fun, Naomi? Anything fun you did? I'm gonna check you out later, by the way, Umi. Cause you're obviously a good VTuber at your job, so it's nice to meet you. Yeah, Umi, I'm Patchumi from Perfect Corporation. Yeah, I need to get through this, okay? I need to get through this. This is gonna be really trashy. It's gonna be a really trashy ending. I'm like embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed. I'm really, really embarrassed. I am. I'm gonna finish, okay, Albert, okay. I'm gonna keep going. I pushed the door open and ran into the freezing cold as my pursuer followed suit. I ran until I was knee-deep in snow, until a lanky hand— you see, he uses the same words in the same sentence. Until a lanky hand gripped me and started dragging me back. The dark sky slowly lit as the sun started to emerge from the bottom horizon. The Krampus stopped dragging me. He dropped me and stared briefly at the rising sun. I'll come get you. As he said as he dropped my leg and retreated to his lair as I lay in snow. A silhouetted figure came from a distance. I closed my eyes so it felt like seconds, but when I opened my eyes, the sun was higher in the sky, and the figure was closer. I made out that he was wearing red. Then I passed out. I opened my eyes to see an outstretched hand with a black mitten on it. It belonged to a fat, bearded man. Santa! Oh my goodness! Shh, child, he said in a soft, soothing voice. Let's take you home. The next thing I remember was waking up in my bed at home. Levi and Garrett were kidnapped in the middle of the night. I found out from Rebecca, Brad, and Molly, who already told our parents and the cops. I tried to tell them what really happened, but no one believed me. They really got mad when I tried to explain it to them, so I gave up on trying to tell them. That's how I spent my Christmas. Hi, do you feel me? Sing out of nowhere. Hi. Oh, hi. Good morning, do you feel me? Hello, hi, new guy. Yes. Thank you, scrambling on me. Oh, hi, well, feel me. So that was Are we reading? Yeah, we were reading. It was, it was, the Krampus. The Krampus. It's the Christmas Krampus. I don't know who wrote it though. I think I have to go because I was on Creepypasta Wiki. I think I have to go on the official website to see who wrote it. I don't know who read it. I wrote it. But I do know it was probably a 14-year-old boy. There's a second one? There's a second Christmas Krampus. So, Creepypasta. Yeah, it was Creepypasta reading. Hi, Pocket Post. It's been a while. So, obviously, I think we can tell the writer does not have much experience with writing. Second creepy Christmas has hit the towers. Awesome. I love it. Man, that was a story. I don't know how to feel about that. That was really bad. I don't think the author knew where he was going with this. And there were so many rooms in Krampus's house, and then he used so many of the same words in the same sentences. Yes, that was kind of bad. So tired. I just listen. Thank you for listening. That was really bad. I don't know what to say to that. Thank you, Devoni. Why is there a second one? Why? How did I make a second one? That was really bad. That was really bad. Krampus 2 times. I can. How long is it? Oh my goodness, it's so long. Oh, it's not that long. Thank you, Wonderlo, for me. Hello, follow. I'm gonna move actually my alert box. Campus 2. I can read it, yeah. Sure, it's not that long. Campus 2. It won't be that bad, probably. Maybe. The Krampus 2. It's not gonna be that bad this time, I swear. If it's number 2, the writer must have gotten better. Electric. After Ken, good luck at work, bunny. Have fun, don't die. You work, you lose, you know. I'm a bit careful about it. Alright, the Christmas Krampus. It won't be that long. Well, this looks like 30 minutes. The Christmas Krampus 2. Bring out revenge for the PS2. Christmas time is a time of mysterious wonder. Good kids are joyful the whole month long in quiet anticipation of Santa's. Okay, I read that wrong. Santa's arrival. Saint Nicholas doesn't own the holiday, however. He has an ancient acquaintance, the one who deals with naughty children. Oh, divert. Just call me Chumi or Patchumi. Chumi or Patchumi. Yes, that is my name. Oh, thank you, Haunting Chumi, for the follow. Christmas this year is gonna be bullshit. Mom says it's gonna be a Charlie Brown Christmas this year, meaning she's already given up on getting us any freaking presents. Christmas will be over a weekend this year, which means the mall is going to be packed. Sometimes I wish the evergreen forest was still in its place. We used to get the trees there when Dad was still alive. Anyway, I'll be working the evenings of Christmas Eve and Christmas Day as one of the Santa's helpers because I'm shorter. Ow. Ow. I have to do it every weekend of this month too. I just started working there last month because Mom's going to need some help with our Christmas presents this year. Oh. Crap, I think I need to reload the website. This is a bit awkward. Oh, it is. It is not working still. Okay, whatever. Christmas this year is gonna be bullshit. Oh, wait. I started the wrong part. This isn't the first time she's had me help pay for mine and my siblings' presents either. That's actually how I found out there was no Santa. Hey son, can I borrow $40 from your piggy bank? Because, well, Santa's not real and you won't get Christmas this year unless you say yes. Real nice, right? Sam, your dad croaked too. So of course I said yes. I don't want to see a meltdown. She tried to cover it up by saying sometimes there's presents under the tree she didn't buy for us, but it's just another white lie. This year I might take the cake, though. My own mom encouraging me to lie about my age so I can be barely eligible to work a degrading job is a real Christmas spirit killer, and I used to love it. I'm really keeping this journal so I can rant all I want without consequence. So if you're reading this, Drew, screw off, it's none of your business. Well, that, and to remember some of the toys these kids ask for. I never have many good Christmas gift ideas, but I figure hearing several kids ask for a variety of crap while I sit on some perv's lap might give me a couple of ideas. I just woke up from the weirdest dream. I think the devil or some demonic creature just came into my room and said, "Not too late," to me in the scariest voice I've ever heard. Then I woke up and came downstairs to find my mom talking to my dad in the living room. He was standing next to our grandma's old mirror we have, but it wasn't him in the reflection, it was the devil. I awoke for a second time and started writing. It all seemed so real. December 11th, 2010. Working at that stupid mall is not worth giving my siblings a good Christmas. I get no respect at all. Everyone just wants Santa, so they're all pissed at the guys, telling them it's $5 for photos and to stay in line. We don't control all that crap. Don't shoot the messenger. It's boring as hell too. Luckily there's a cute girl named Holly who's an elf here. She's one of the only people who's nice to me. I really spend more time checking her out than helping customers. Chud. We'll have to hang out in the middle of the mall next to 5 main stores in front of a gingerbread house. All day, kids go up to the throne-like chair they have set up in front of the gingerbread house for Bernard. This arrangement seems odd until you go in there and see it's full of cabinet registers and expensive toys to put around Santa if people buy out the ones already surrounding him. There's also a train that goes around the gingerbread house area and this 20-foot tall Christmas tree surrounded by wrapped presents they give away to random customers and raffles. Oh man, this is hard. Everyone asks for photos, tablets, or phones, tablets, or laptops so far. And I swear, I forgot the only original gift idea I heard too. I kinda want to quit, but another guy, Donnie, who works here, I go to school with him, and their little brothers are friends apparently. He has a plan that'll help me give my family the Christmas we deserve. December 17th, 2010. I meant to write sooner, but things came up. So the plan is simple. Me and Donnie wait in line, wait in the dressing I'm reading this so wrong. Me and Donnie wait in the dressing rooms after hours until the mall closes, and then in 2 associates of Donnie's, in which the coast is clear. After that, we disable the cameras from the manager's office and take whatever we want. We know the security guards' schedules and how well they are at it. I'm so bad. And how well they are at guarding the mall. So it should be a piece of cake unless we have to bring extra people. December 23rd, 2010. Turns out we're going to have to bring extra people Donnie apparently told his brother in confidence about the plan, and then his brother collaborated with Brody, and they both are coming along with their friends. We're gonna get in so much trouble. Everyone is not as mentally as equipped as they are, and the word starts with R. But me? I'm gonna write down my progress as I go to Maya. Even got started early and took a watch to record the time. Mom found out about the watch and tried to chastise me for stealing, but she knows I didn't really care. It's not like it used to be where she'd yell at us, send us to our rooms, and tell us she was sending Dad to talk to us about it. There was rarely any talking, however. I hope she understands that I'm doing this for all of us. Hi, Sigumi. Oh wait, hi, Gotenumi. December 24th, 2010, 11 a.m. Told my mama I'd have to work late shift tonight. She threw a fit. Luckily, she's mad at the mall, not me. 2 p.m. Been working 2 hours now, and I'm already excited for what's in store. Pun intended. 5 p.m. They're serving the greatest hot chocolate I've ever had in my life from a big cauldron behind the gingerbread house. I need to nab one of their hot chocolate makers. 8 p.m. I'm so pumped for this. If all goes well, it'll take less than an hour and a half to do the job. We close at 10. 11 p.m. We're waiting for others now. We're practically alone, which is crazy because sometimes we have employees at the mall here until 11 cleaning up stuff. I would have figured they'd beef up the security around this time too. Guess they don't think they'll be robbed on Christmas. 11:12 p.m. We just let our partners in crime. Oh, let in. They just let in our partners in crime. Our little brothers and their friends were picked up by Dylan, who's picked up by our other associates. Who else would be driving? It's freaking Holly! I can't believe it. This could be the sort of trust building exercise great relationships are built on. There's 8 of us in total, and I'm only 50% sure we're getting away with this now. Riz. 11:23. The mall looks pretty nice at night. All the lights in the dark and no one's around. It's pretty great. We've all started filling our cart and our pockets. I'm mostly writing this as we go along. These freaked are already... Oh, that's the F slur. Okay. These F words are already mocking me for it. $11:37. Something really weird just happened. We passed Bernard. I hope, at least. Who was still in costume. We asked him what the hell he was doing, and he said you could ask the same thing. Then he said, just go home now. It's not too late. Not gonna lie, I kinda want to now. That got to me. That's not the weirdest part, though. He had an actual reindeer with him. I have no clue how or why the freak he got it in the store, but he did. And just like that, he left. I've circled around twice now and I can't find him. No one else wants to go, so I guess we're staying. 2:39 a.m. Everything has gone terribly wrong. I'm not hoping, I'm just writing. I don't know what to do. We went to the tree in the center of the mall, by the stairs, to help ourselves to the presents. There were all sorts of different decorated wrappings and boxes. Someone left some of their own there. There were some presents that said from campus instead of Santa. I don't know what that is, but they're so dead if I find them. We start to grab some of the boxes and we're going, and we're all gonna open up one each at once. Isaac, Donnie's little brother, opened one early anyways and stuck his hand in the box to grab his prize. We heard a loud crap and snapped, followed by screaming. Inside the gift box he opened, it was an open bear trap. Isaac wailed and squirmed despite us telling him he needed to stay calm. It took me, Donnie, and Holly to pry it open to get his arm out. Meanwhile, all the other presents around us started shaking. A couple bursted open. I heard what I thought was a high-pitched laughter from a toy, but we ran before whatever bombs or anything in the boxes could go off. Then we wrapped Isaac's wound as tight as possible. I hope that helps. I wonder if Bernard did this. He was the only other person we saw here. We're almost on the other side of the mall now, but the exit is blocked by a steel cage door. No one can get any cell service, so we're going to have to go back. I swear I keep hearing little footsteps behind us. Thank you, Down we have. I hope I'm as cool as the chipmunks. Scratches bulls. I hope I'm good. 2:40. Oh, 12:42 a.m. So far, every entrance we've passed is blocked, even ones we just passed. I love it when 13-year-olds write creepypastas. Someone's playing old Christmas music on the intercom now. Holly keeps saying we're all going to die. I'm practically pissing my pants. 12:52 a.m. I'm useless. I can't do anything but nervously write my feelings and observations. All the entrances are locked, and everyone is panicking. We have yet to find any security guards, and the glass is too thick to break. We're going to have to find a way to break out or survive until morning. And I don't know how long Isaac can go on for. 11:17 a.m. Killer toys. Someone made killer toys. Dylan thinks it's magic or something stupid. I think it obviously has to be robots or something, but debating it doesn't change what we just saw. We all passed an old porcelain Christmas doll making its slow movements like it was building toys when it used its hammer to smack Erica on the head hard as we passed. She immediately began bleeding, and I kicked the things away. Then it scurried off. There's movement all around us. We're in Santa's village area. We are in Santa's village area, trying to think of what to do. We could have stayed here in one of the small houses, but no one wants to stay. We could go to the gingerbread house and hold up there, but I don't know. I don't know about the toys there either. We could and should go to the tool shop for weapons and just break out of here, but they don't want to pass the tree area at all. We could go to the escalators and hang out on the second floor for a full view of the mall and see if there's a way out through the roof. I think I've seen people cleaning the skylight before, so there might be a ladder down the side of the building or something just in case of emergencies. Everyone agrees with the latest plan. That's good I have the journal to brainstorm. Oh, very Umi, thank you for the follow. Oh, Hunter and Gotan Umi, thank you for the follow too. 11:30, oh wait, no, 1:35 a.m. Oh, Duvu Umi, thank you for the follow. There's some animals on the roof. You can see them through the skylight. They look like oxen and reindeer. Same person who put the presents under the tree had to do that. Is Bernard some sick holiday killer? Is he Krampus or whatever the hell? What a weird name. Anyways, we can't go up there with those things there too. I haven't seen any more toys or anything, but the second floor is pitch black. Just about. Bearing some of the light from the first floor displays. The mall should look beautiful from this vantage point at this time of night, but now it all looks quite creepy and ominous. Isaac is gonna bleed to death soon if he doesn't get some proper help, too. I'm convinced this can only be half real and half my sanity is slipping. Oops. I'm gonna hide this. "2:02 a.m. We just met Krampus. He is not Bernard at all. 12 long bony fingers came over the railing, and they pulled a lanky monstrosity. The demon from my nightmare, but I can make out much more detail this time. The creature was wearing some sort of happy holiday creepy clown mask. That's all I can describe it as. It had twisted goat legs, it had red and green, it has a red and green Christmas jacket with a hood. Although I don't know how or why it wears that, because it has 2 long candy cane-like horns jutting forward. 2 smaller black inner ones going back. What? Okay, Redberry. Huh? I want to share some more, but thank you, Redberry. I'm gonna check you out later. Thank you so much, Umi. Have a good rest. Okay, thank you. Merry Christmas, ho ho ho. Oh wait, are you going too, Fluffy? Oh. Oh. It's fine, it's fine. It has a large saddle, like basket, full of body parts and sticks, I think, on its back. It's also in bells and chains. How the hell couldn't we hear him coming? I don't know why we didn't just run immediately. Maybe curiosity, but we really should have. We moved slowly, deliberately. We methodically grabbed Isaac by his free arm and pulled him onto his knee as if he crouched down and got out a large bundle of switches. It pulled down Isaac's pants. I think I might have been mistaken, and I think Krampus is a pedophile. I think he might be a pedophile. I think he might be a pedophile. He pulled down Isaac's pants and spanked him for 6 or 7 times. 6, 7. Hip with the kids. Krampus is hip with the kids. 6, 7 times. Each swinging whistled to the air and made Isaac produce a large yelp. He was hit so hard he began bleeding after the first. We stood and watched out of shock and confusion. After it was finished, he let Isaac go and said, "Go now, before it gets much worse." In that voice that paralyzes you with fear. Isaac limped off to I don't know where. Donnie looked right up to the still crouching creature and yanked its mask right off. His face is frozen. Oh, his face is like frostbitten Santa Claus. His beard is black, though more pointed, and the mustache is far more distinct. Its eyes were visible now, and they were piercing, like the eyes of shell-shocked victims we saw photos of in school. But they glowed red and heaved and gleamed green when he swayed. What does that mean? His face seemed serious for a second, then an aggressive, eerie smile spread across its face, and its eyes popped excitedly. It began to giggle like it was trying really hard to repress a laugh. It slowly struck out its long tongue and licked Donnie's face. Then it swiftly reached its twisted arm, grabbing him by the throat, and quickly rose to its feet. Lifting Donnie up, he looked scared. The Krampus threw Donnie clear over the railing into a giant snow globe display that shattered on impact. A lot of blood immediately pooled around him. I've never seen anything like that before. Everyone began running after the moment sank in. I didn't budge at first. He was still moving, struggling to pull himself up. Holly grabbed my arm and pulled me until I followed. She said he was just twitching, but I don't know. I just don't know anymore. It chased us into a nearby outlet store. It moved so unnaturally, like a puppet from those Christmas specials. We're held up in a jewelry store, getting our bearings. It hasn't been long since the ordeal. Riding is all that can calm my nerves. $2:19 a.m. It's right outside the store. We're making a run for it. 2:26 a.m. We ran into a trap. The monster herded us like cattle into an ambush. Disfigured toys holding strings of Christmas lights made into a makeshift net were in wait of our arrival. Erica ran face first into it, and they wrapped her up immediately. The petrifying gingerbread man, nutcrackers, and toy maker dolls descended on her, violently hitting, annoying, and stabbing. The putrid-looking figures began to surround us. We didn't wait or even try to help. We just ran for our lives. She's still screaming. 2:53 a.m. Everything is quiet now, aside from Brody sobbing. It occurs to me we're all gonna die, and I don't even know everyone here. Brody never introduced his friends he brought. Erica introduced herself when we met. 3:14 a.m. We are on the first floor train, going through the mall. It's too dark on the upper levels to fend for ourselves, and I lost a shoe in the chaos. Ditched the other one because it hindered my running. 3:18 a.m. Oh my god, there's a bunch of smaller creatures climbing onto the back of the train. They're getting closer. We're going to have to jump soon. I'm going to try and fend them off and wait until we're near the gingerbread house. 3:39 a.m. They just left. Something else is coming, so we jumped off the train and got into the house. There's chairs and a couple of tables in there, so we flipped the main table and used it as a makeshift shield. The horde came pouring in as many collided hard against the table. Several of them jumped over and grabbed us, clawing and scratching. They scratched our faces and tore some of the clothes off our backs. Some of them looked like horned demons, some like gnomes. There are so many GN words. I really like gnomes and gnome a lot. This is like fan service for me. Many wore various horns and witch-like masks. They're like little evil elves. What the actual hell is happening? We're about to leave. They think we fought them all off, but they seem to just leave easily. 4:17 a.m. I don't know why. Why would they go towards the noise? What possessed us to do such a stupid thing? The second we were out the door, we snuck around the side towards the back. Then we heard bubbling as we got closer. The smell became more pungent as well. It was like burning paper and almonds, almost. The cauldron had fire under it. It was full of boiling ink. I grabbed Brody and started backing away, but Holly and Steven moved closer to inspect. Dylan kept still. The Krampus sprang from the shadows and speared Steven right through the head with a trident. It went through the back of his right cheek and out his eye. The others screaming is how I learned his name finally. He lived through the impalement. He was screaming the whole time. He kicked and flailed violently at first. Krampus looked giddy at the sight. He delicately moved the trident over the cauldron and dunked Stephen in. His body sizzled loudly upon the contact with the ink. The beast raised his now almost entirely limp body. He dangled like a fish on a hook. Low moans escaped Stephen's mouth. He was entirely black and the foul-smelling liquid dripped off his body. I began to back up, psyching myself up to run. But when it turned its attention to us, its face grew more twisted and monstrous. We just ran again. It's still coming. We just have a short time to rest. We're by the entrance now. We're going to smash through the window with hammers and make our way to Holly's car. Naked person? Where? Where? Where is the naked, vulnerable person? I like it when an Umi is naked and vulnerable, ready for the Chumi. Again. 5 a.m. Looking out the window, the parking lot no longer existed. In its place was the vast evergreen forest. We began hammering at the glass. It started to crack, but it didn't seem like it would. It would shatter soon. We heard something behind us, and I handed my hammer to Brody and told Holly to take him and run to the second glass. And run the second the glass broke. The balls of each Christmas light string. God, this is hard. String began to burst around us, popping like fireworks. Small and colorful flames lit in their place down the road. One by one, casting an eerie glow around us, it also illuminated our incoming attacker. Its hoofs cracked like thunder on the floor as it came closer to us. I climbed a small North Pole display, and the beast came into view. Okay, buddy, sure, buddy. The glass gave way behind me. I ran across the roof, leaped at the demon, and caught it by one of the horns. As I fell, yanking it down and knocking over a Christmas tree. Decorations flew off and rose on the floor. The Krampus kept its flooring and swatted me off it. I got up as it began to trot my way menacingly. It giggled ominously, and its eyes bulged. Its expression was that of a crazed excitement. I slowly paced backwards, trying to not make any sudden movements. In an instant, I heard a loud bust and felt a stabbing of pain shoot up my leg. I had stepped on an ornament that instantly collapsed, sending shards of colorful glass into my foot. I jumped, grabbing my left foot, and balanced myself on my right leg. The Krampus grabbed my ankle and yanked me onto the floor. I started to crawl away, but it kept its grip on me and tightened it. Then threw me over his shoulder and into the ground. I hit my face first and very hard. My head is still pounding. I wiggled and writhed from its grip, just barely, and used the time to make a run for it. I sprawled to my feet and dashed towards the broken window. The pain was terrible. Each step pushed the jagged ceramic fragments deeper into my foot, and then the snow came. I stepped on a little broken glass too, so cold it was unnoticeable almost. The pain from the cold was overwhelming, and the snow seemed to stay in place instead of fall. I followed the footprints near the edge of the newly formed yet fully grown evergreen forest. Upon closer inspection, it was more of a maze. I ran in and began to follow the pathways formed by the trees. The pain on my feet began to set in, but adrenaline kept me going. The snow and fog was thick, but I could make out most of my surroundings. I looked for a bit, but seemed to lose track of the prints. I started panicking and moved quicker through the choosing random twisting paths as I went on. Only surrounded by bushy trees. Eventually, I came to notice that some of these trees around me had decorations. Not just typical Christmas ornaments either, but weird carved stones and wooden figures. I grew more and more anxious as I continued on the path. I felt like I was being watched, and that demon was stalking me. I repeatedly looked around frantically. I started feeling like I was going in circles. I was nervous. I began passing trees with more elaborate decor, small bones. Terror was gripping me at this point, but I continued. I saw and still see a bright, large light ahead. I stopped by a nearby tree to take a short rest and write this before I go on. I hope it's my friends. "5:33 a.m. I was half right. I just found Dylan. I wasn't ready to see him like that. I don't know anyone who could be. His palms were impaled on long spikes in front of him, in a way that seemed like he had to rest on them. He was frozen stiff in a way that expressed clear agony. His back was cut open, his rib cage spread wide open. His lungs were removed from the wound and placed on his shoulders, and combined with the rest of his ice over form. If he made him appear... What does that mean? He was... And combined with the rest of his iced over form, if made him appear... Oh, there's a typo. It made him appear somewhat angelic. He was adorned with a halo of Christmas lights on his head, which had cut into him. The pillars were also wrapped in lights, as the wooden construct around him was covered in bright embellishments at first. And then it cuts off. 5:52 a.m. I just found Holly and Brody. She said she knows where the parking lot is, and so we're on our way out. 6:07 a.m. The paths are becoming less narrow, and there's more spacing between most of the trees now, but I'm not sure that's good. We started noticing various snowmen around us off the trail, but surrounding it. 6 or 7 a.m. maybe. 6:49 a.m. One of them moved. They started shifting around. We didn't notice until it was too late. We came near a small pond with a thin layer of ice over it, and so the parking lot. Salvation in our range of vision, not very far away. I think Holly saw it first, but right then a chilly, eerie snowman grabbed Brody by the arm. He struggled to get away, but it pulled him closer. I began yanking on my brother's sleeve to free him, but he managed to slide from his jacket, where he had been gripped out of the sled had... He managed to slide from his jacket, and where he had been grabbed, the skin had blackened and bruised. Worst frostbite I've ever seen. We got ready to fight them off, but they crumbled away as stomping drew near us. We didn't have a chance to run. The Krampus leaped from the fog and bounded at us, his body covered in fur and a long tail whipping around. His face was more monstrous as he now had a more pronounced snout. His eyes are still horrifying. What? His eyes are still horrifying. He seized me by the throat and threw me down on the hard sheet of ice, bursting it open. I started to pick myself up when I felt the demon's large hand on my head. It pushed my face into the freezing water and held me there. I tried to throw my body up, but to no avail. I held my breath for a while. But I could feel myself slipping, my lungs beginning to demand more air. I didn't hold it longer than 30 seconds before I involuntarily opened my mouth to suck in air. Instead, my mouth and throat were filled with murky ice water. I felt pain as the cold water made its way down my windpipe and into my lungs. The pain and suffocation were too much to bear, and I began to drift away. I was suddenly pulled away. Yeah, no, Fluffy, it's the writing, I swear. It's not working on my browser source in OBS. I swear it's the writing. I swear. And no Jin's Umi, Angry Bird Umi. I have not seen Avengers. I swear it's just the writing. I swear. Pull up right now. The Krampus 2. I swear. It's not me, it's the writing. I swear. I suddenly pulled from the water as the beast was pushed off me by Holly, who had quite a running start. The Krampus picked her up with one hand and lifted her to his face. I coughed up water. The creature licked her, then stuck its abnormally long tongue down Holly's throat. Holy shit! Down Holly's throat. I got up and grabbed Brody by the hand. It dropped Holly, then took the basket from its back. Holly began to cry for help. We backed up. Chains wrapped around and dug into her, pulling her into the dark abyss that lay within the basket. I ran to help as she drew near the top of the basket. Several hands grabbed onto her and began pulling her in. I held on for a while, then grabbed her keys and let her go. Fucking dick. I don't know whose expression was more haunting, hers or Brody's. We made a mad dash for the parking lot. We made it to the car and got in. We agreed Brody would drive as my foot left me in no condition to, and I could help steer. What? I tried calling from the parking lot, but still got nothing. He tried to start the car, but it wouldn't go at first. He turned the key, the engine revved up, but nothing happened. He did it again and again, for the fourth attempt. The Krampus burst through the passenger window and grabbed me by the head. It started shaking me hard when the car started. Brody slammed on the gas, and the speed of us peeling out broke its grip. We began the ride home, safe at last. Haven't seen a single car on the road yet, though. Brody Bell aims for not helping and... What? Oh, blames! There's a typo. Blames. Brody blames me for not helping enough. But we're alive, damn it. That's all that matters. 7:02 a.m. We're just getting home now. We both agreed we're not telling Mom the truth. 7:19 a.m. We came in expecting Mom to have been waiting up all night for us, but instead she seemed more occupied entertaining company. She seemed to be in some trance. The guest she had over was our father. She noticed us and told us to come into the living room. They were worried all night. We came in and blurted bits of the truth out anyway. I turned and saw my father's reflection was the demon's shape, just like my dream, confirming what I already knew. I told her not to trust that was... What does that mean? I told her not to trust that was that. That was Dad, but she wouldn't listen. She grabbed us and started marching us upstairs. She locked us up in each of our respected rooms. She told me through the door that she was sending father out to talk to. She told me through the door she was sending up father to talk with us. This will be my last entry. If you find this, please take this advice. Keep the Christmas spirit and be good for God's sake. Just because the holidays are usually time of joy, it doesn't mean they always will be. Not all children have a Merry Christmas. Dun dun dun. Da da da. Hi, Leo Komi. Hi, thank you. Oh yeah, Elio Yoko. Umi, thank you for the follow. How's Krampus 1 and Krampus 2 creepypastas? That was so hard to read. That was more hard than usual. It's the amount of it. What do you mean it ends on a positive note? They're dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. There was a reference to the hot chocolate in the old story, though. I mean, this one had a sad ending. It didn't have a happy ending like the last one. Where, like, the kid got saved by Santa Claus. These guys didn't get saved by Santa Claus. It was nice. I think it was nice that all those kids got murdered. My tummy just grumbled. All the kids got murdered. It's mean. So many run-on sentences and repeated words. I know! A lot of sentences had bad grammar and, like, words were typoed or repeated. Like, there was this very specific sentence. It was supposed to be written like Brody blamed me or something, but like there was a space between the BL and aimed, so I was reading as BL aimed. Well, the story, don't be naughty. Yeah, everyone was naughty and therefore Santa didn't come to help. Well, the kid was naughty too. The kid was very naughty. The kid was naughty. It was naughty. It's naughty, yeah? Like, that's such a cop-out. Oh, just because the kid was a kid, Santa comes to help him, but Santa couldn't help, like, the teenagers that were trying to steal stuff for their family. Hi, hottest boy, Umi. Hi. Let us find a VTuber. That was part 1 and 2. I thought there's a very big difference between Krampus 1 and 2. I'm trying to search up the ASMR tag on Twitch, but it's so hard. They make so, like, you have to go through so many loops. But, wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah, number 2 I think is definitely, better written than the first one. Christmas is something, don't be mean. I haven't been naughty this year. Krampus returns his Black Friday iPad. So tired, I can focus on reading, but I enjoy hearing you. Ah! Thank you, Devumi. It's really nice. Hey, that's really nice. Genuinely, that's really nice. Let me find a cute VTuber. I don't know if there are any. Are there any cute VTubers? Because there's no one, like, none of my friends are alive right now I could just attack. There is a VTuber I like, but she's not doing ASMR. She's playing Blue Archive. I don't know who to rate. Cause I need to pack up all my stuff. I need to pack up all my stuff for my moving. And then, oh yeah, Umi, I think tomorrow, let me check my schedule. That is not my schedule. My schedule? Oh, I have, okay, for every ASMR interested homies, I have normal ASMR on Sunday this week. But Resident Evil's on Saturday. At this point, I can honestly fall asleep to the screaming stream there. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for the good luck for the move, Lumi. Name is Patchumi, watch her. She's not saying much. Is this like a meat stream? Let me find wife. Is there anyone like wifey? I'm trying to. Like, is there anyone wifey?
And I might be a little drunk or what.
I think I might just go with the VTuber I like watching on my side account because I'm embarrassing. She's very cute and she's doing a cozy stream, so I feel like it'd be very fitting. Because I don't know any Umi who is. There is a first streamed girl. Oh, I think, yeah, she just went offline. Oops, okay. I think we're going with this. She just admitted that she was a gooner. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, Umi. Thank you. Oh yeah, it was nice meeting you too, Dooley Umi. Yippee! Awesome sauce. Okay, I'll see every Umi next time. Thank you every Umi for coming. I really appreciate it. I'll see you all next time, okay, Umi? Yippee! Shout out to all Big Brother Umis and Big Sister Umis. I'll see all you later, alligators. Oh yeah, we have a Discord for perfect. I have been Patchumi with Perfect Corp. Bye bye, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, bye Liquor and bye. Bye bye, watch your Umis. Bye bye.